Not bad at all, Capricorn. All right, let's see what we have. So it feels, this week is about you reevaluating what you want. How much effort have I put into this? What are the results that I'm getting? Am I seeing results fast enough? Some of you may decide, no, I want more. I planted, this is the gardener card. I always call it that. When you plant your seeds, you water them, you do all that stuff that gardeners do. And I'm not a gardener. And you start to see the results, like, the fruit, the tree that you've been trying to grow, it starts bearing fruit. And then you look at it and think, hang on a second, I want apples. Why are there oranges growing here? Like, do you know what I mean? It's that kind of energy. It does talk about, it's initial. So it's the initial kind of rewards that you start to get and you figure out, is this enough for me? It can be a frustrating energy because it's a card of patience that tells us, that, hey, if you hang in there, you will get the rewards that you worked so hard for. Like, sustained effort will bring you the results that you hope for. But there can be this underlying frustration that I'm not getting the results fast enough. I'm not, seeing what I want to from this. So for some of you, that can be where you think, I need to change things up. Or you think, I'll hang in there a bit longer. It's okay. I will hang in there a bit longer. Now, I don't think there's no cards here of indecision. None. So, he looks frustrated. He's looking at this. I think that may be because things may be happening too slowly for you. And yes, I did just say that to Capricorn. But, things could be happening too slowly. Like, they're just not happening fast enough. Why? Why is that an issue for you? Because, and I just want to say this, it's not just Capricorn that does this, but, I get people that kind of come up with a stereotype for Capricorn, and then you kind of retort with, well, that means X, Y, and Z, and then they get offended by that. So just be careful, guys. It's all fun and games. We tap into the energy to pull on the energy of this, but we all have other aspects. But I'm only talking about the Capricorn energy because that's what I tap into, right? I only speak about Capricorn. And it might not even be for all Capricorns. So just remember that. All right, guys. So we have the sun coming up here at the heart of your reading. And that's why I kind of feel like that's why it's frustrating. There's nothing really delayed here, but you see the potential. You know where this can go. And that's why you want it to happen so quickly because you know the potential. You have cards here of, you see it coming. You know what's coming. The sun is all about everything's illuminated and shown to us, right? The sun is shining. That's how we see the potential for great happiness because we see everything very clearly. So you're not confused. There's nothing confusing here. You know where it's going. You know what can come out of this situation. And yeah, I'm keeping it broad because there's nothing specific. That could be work, relationships, any kind of relationship, hobbies, projects that you have going on, whatever. Wherever you see the potential right now, and it may be across the board in your life. The sun here is saying you see the potential, but it's just not happening fast enough. And that could be this is not even a difficult energy, the Seven of Pentacles, and it's the most difficult relatively right in your reading. But like I said, people experience energies differently. Some people, that might be a big deal to them. Other people are like, okay, I know I'm being impatient. I will just keep on this. It's fine. It will happen. Or I'll tweak it or do something. Because in the past, here we have the Knight of Swords. So you might have been dealing with an air sign, Aquarius, Gemini, Libra, or someone had this kind of energy. And this is someone who comes charging in out of nowhere with their truth, right? With their truth. Maybe you've had to go fight for your truth. Maybe someone's kind of spewed their truth all over you. And I say that because the Knight of Swords can do that. He's very quick to act. He can be very spontaneous because he knows what he thinks. He knows what his beliefs are. He knows what his ideals are. And not only does he know them, he's going to go defend them and he's going to go fight for them. That's why he's always charging into battle with it. Well, most decks with his sword raised high, ready to go. That's his sword of truth, right? He's going to swing it around. It can get messy when the Knight of Swords is involved, but that's in the past. That's the foundation. And this could be last week, last month, last year, right? The reason we look at the past energy is to let us know what in the present is about this person. So maybe you took some action. Maybe you followed your truth. I would hope that you would always follow your truth, but we don't always. You followed your truth. You did what was right for you. You went and fought for this truth. And now, where does that lead? Well, it leads to the Three of Wands. Three of Wands is, wow, you're waiting for the results out of this, the action that you've taken. The Three of Wands, it is about waiting for your ships to come in, right? So some of you, at a mundane level, and I don't usually read cards like that, I'm not general readings. He's looking out. Maybe you're waiting for news to come in. But the thing is here, you know. Very strongly it's coming out, Capricorn. You know. Whatever it is, you know. Sun, you see everything. You know. Knight of Swords, you knew your mind. You went and spoke it, or you acted on it, or someone else did. That's what you dealt with. Three of Wands coming up here. It's saying, waiting for your ships to come. But you know what to expect because you know what effort you put in. And furthermore, it sits under the Seven of Pentacles. So, you know, it's kind of saying to you, well, hang on, guys. You know how much effort you put in. You know what you've done for this situation. So your expectations have to be based on that. And I'm not really getting unrealistic expectations. How could you? You'd have to be really delusional to have unfounded kind of expectations here, because the sun's here. When the sun shines, everything gets revealed. So, you know, I would very confidently say, Capricorn, you are very aware of what's going on. You know where this is headed. You know what you're expecting back from this. But you're waiting. This person waits. This person waits. Now, I don't really believe in a wait and see energy. I don't believe that. There's no such thing. Even whenever there's inactive cards for this is sustained effort. You have to keep watering the plant. You have to keep doing that. Three of Wands. Yes, you're waiting for your ships to come and you're waiting for the results. Are you planning your next moves? It's Wands energy. What are you going to do next? Because you know what's coming in. So you don't have to wait to see it. You already know what it is. Do you have your plan in place of how you're going to act when this happens? Because then you can just, if you're worried about how long it's taking, if you have your plan ready, as soon as it comes in, you can just act on it straight away. And where that leads to, if you can do that, is the Empress. And the Empress is about abundance, great abundance, right? She's very attractive. I mean, I love this. I will say this though, with some of you, wow, okay. And I don't usually say this. If you've been watching me for a while, then you know I don't usually go here unless it comes up. But this could be some of you starting a family. Starting a family. Because we have, this can be children. You know, it's creativity. That's what it is. We create the futures that we want because we see everything clearly. And you see this child kind of riding around on this horse all happy. And the Empress is the mother. So not to say you're a mother, it could be a parent, right? But of any kind. But the Empress is the mother. She's domesticity, the family, that kind of thing. Now, for those of you that there's nothing to do with children can, similar to children are like projects. We're starting something new. And it's expansion, right? It's expansion. That's what she talks about. Abundance coming in, being found attractive. And attractive doesn't mean like physically attractive. You might be, good on you. But it's about attracting whatever it is that you want to yourself. That's what she can do when she shows up. So it is coming in, but it's to kind of, I think there's still things that you can be doing. Yes, things aren't moving as fast as when this energy happened. But you have this, which is keep watering your plants, keep kind of putting effort into this, whatever it is, or tweak it, whatever you kind of deem, you know, as I keep saying to you. But the Three of Wands is have a plan ready, a plan that you're ready to action as soon as whatever it is that you're waiting for. The news, the letter, the email, the offer, you know, whatever it is that you have coming in. I don't know why I'm just saying news, but it kind of feels that way coming in, because then you can expand, you can grow this. Now, this may be to do with someone else. Obviously, it's a general reading, so it could be the energies go both ways. And somebody's waiting on you to kind of, you know, offer them something, but you're doing this. So that could be someone else waiting on you, you know, whether it's a business colleague, whether it's a partner, whether it's a love interest, whatever it is. They could be waiting on you and you're thinking, well, I don't know if I want to put any more effort into this. But it looks great with the Empress coming up. That's new beginnings. That is, you know, growth and expansion in whatever area you want. And abundance can be any kind of abundance. Romantic, you can have more love in your life if you want that. Financial abundance, spiritual abundance, whatever you deem as abundance. Now, what we have coming up as the advice is justice. Justice talks about fairness, balancing those karmic scales, right? Balancing the scales. Why would you need to balance the scales, guys? Because we have the Knight of Swords here. So has it been all action and no play? Because there isn't any play coming up here. It's all about growth and expansion. And that's one of the stereotypes, right? For Capricorn, that you guys are always working and stuff. But I don't get that here. What I'm getting here is that would be more temperance for me, right? If temperance had come up. And that temperance is about balance too, but temperance is moderation in all things. I'm not getting that. I think this is, maybe you've been fighting so hard because there's been some injustice in the past. There's been some injustice. Maybe the injustice was not, this is not you, this is someone else who came and just, like I said, swung his sword around. And it might have been the truth, but there's different ways to give the truth, right? It doesn't have to be so given the way that the Knight of Swords can do it sometimes. He lacks tact. He's not the king or the queen. They will be more tactful and deliver it really kind of well, very articulately. He's just brutal with the truth. Because the truth is the truth is the truth. That's what he's like. I used to be like that when I was a teenager. Not nice. But justice talks about justice being done here. And I think it's telling you, if someone comes in and apologizes to you, maybe that's what you're waiting for. If someone comes in and apologizes to you or wants to make amends with you, give them a fair hearing. That's what I always say. If someone tries to offer you something, right? Because this can be contracts that come in. Hear them out. You don't have to go with it, but hear them out at least. Because that's what justice is. It's fairness. Then you can decide, right? Then you can decide, do I want to put any more effort into this or not? Whether it's a relationship, whether it's a person, whatever, a person, they're all going to be people. No, whether it's a relationship or whether it's a job offer or contract of some kind. But the scales can be balanced. Even just hearing someone out, you hear this and you think, okay, great. I understand. Not interested to go any further, but I understand. You know, that it kind of feels like that's where this comes in. That's where then, because the advice happens before this. It tells you how to get to this. This is balance the scales, make sure everything's fair and right and good for everyone involved, right? All the parties involved. But it's a really beautiful reading. You're kind of headed towards this time of growth and expansion and like fertility or whatever it is that you're trying to go for, to grow. It just feels like things are kind of slowed down a little bit and you're just kind of, that's kind of getting to you, or you've slowed it down a little bit. I mean, it can go both ways, right? So you might have done that yourself, because you're waiting to hear something back or someone's waiting to hear something back from you. But I think it works out well for all parties involved. Whether that means you kind of, oh gosh, I'm hitting the light. Whether that means you can end up working together or not, or stay together or not, right? No place like home. I love this. Right, so what's home, right? Home, and the Empress indicates that some of you might be moving home. But what is home? Home is where we find comfort, where we're safe, you know, where we feel supported and loved. Now, no place like home says you always have a safe space. You always have a home, no matter where you end up going. Maybe some of you are traveling with the Three of Wands coming up there. Or have been traveling with the Knight of Swords. But, you know, wherever you are, you have a safe place, a home within you. You can keep yourself safe. You will always be your own support. Now, how do you do that? By living authentically, being authentically who you are. Not pretending, not faking it. It's kind of strange because I pull that for earth signs today. Earth signs get that a lot. You don't have to conform to other people's idea of who you are. You don't have to conform to, you know, anything. Even the labels we give ourselves. You know, I'm a son, I'm a daughter, I'm a husband, I'm a wife, I'm a worker, I'm a this, I'm a that. No. Who are you inside first, you know? Authentically, how do you feel right now? What do you want to do? Because that's the expectations that we attach to things. So I don't know, say your sister asks you to do something and your expectation is, well, siblings are meant to drop everything and go do something for someone. That's not, but you don't want to do it, but that's your expectation, that's what you have listed as one of the duties of a sibling. Well, you're not being authentic then. You're not keeping yourself safe, right? That's what I mean by that. You're not keeping yourself safe. You're going with what is expected from you, that label. But you're more than that. You're a person. And your emotions will tell you exactly how you feel. Do I want to do this or do I not want to do this? And be true to that. And maybe that's the lesson you learn from the Knight of Swords, because he's very much in tune with what he believes and what he wants to do, and he will act on that. I'm going to say this, and it might be news to some of you. It's okay to say no, Capricorn. Okay, Capricorn, let's see. It says, dear you, there is only one you, and you have a unique place in the universe. Sometimes situations come up that challenge you to be authentic. Bloody hell, guys. See? Same as that. It's coming up. That challenge you to be authentic. And that means you have to be fully yourself and let go of being what you think others may want. This is more or less what I was just saying. Now is not the time to conform to other people's standards or expectations. Be proud of who you are and be courageous. Stand tall in your convictions. Being yourself is a powerful statement and will only lead you to success and ultimately happiness. Don't compare yourself to other people. Want what you have, choose what your heart wants, and know that your purpose is yours alone. No one else can claim your magic nor take it away. When you place authenticity and originality high on your list of priorities and give them a prominent place in your awareness, extraordinary things happen. Your life is a beautiful one. Love you always, and forever. Beautiful, right? Absolutely beautiful. And, you know, that's maybe the lesson of the Knight of Swords. Maybe that was an act that you took where you were completely authentic. And now you're waiting to see what happens from that. And justice is then telling you that, don't worry, it's good. Like, you'll be fine. You know, it's going to work out okay. It will work out fairly. Scales will be balanced. And, you know, I'll say this, and I've said this a lot on Instagram, that yes, it's all great and nice turning the other cheek and being these kind of like Zen-like creatures that apparently spiritual community is meant to be. But no, sometimes you have to be a spiritual warrior and you have to clap back. It's okay to clap back. So maybe some of you did that and now you're thinking, okay, but the sun's saying it's going to be fine, and you know it. You know it. There's no fears coming up here. It's almost as if you're just waiting for the next move. It's like, you know, the ball is in your court. You're waiting for their move. Then you can go with the growth, and then you can go with whatever this is. But there is something here, like some injustice or some amends that need to be made in a situation before you can kind of move on to this. But that's great as well. Justice is, I mean, you might be dealing with a Libra. We have air energy coming up here. Leo. Yeah, I mean, I love your reading, Capricorn. It's amazing. Just be authentic though, right?